Here's hoping everyone can hear me. I've got an adapter for my microphone, so I don't have to worry about my earbuds falling out. So let me know in the chat if you happen to hop in, whether or not you can hear me. And what we're doing today is we're going to play around and make some unicorn paper. So here's one that I made out of tissue. And so it's translucent. And then this is just a scrap piece of, what's that stuff called? Freezer paper. This one. And then I did a big one on watercolor, so I can chop it down to what I like. Hey Jana, can you hear me okay? So it's got sparkle, shine, twirls and whirls, all the fun stuff. We're going to start by making a tissue paper version. And what I need here, hi Chow, hi Shanna, is some freezer paper. Because I'm going to be using glue. And let me get this out of the way so I don't get it wet. Okay. You hear me eat? Ooh, but I already ate. Nah, I get it. Oh, yeah, struggle ripping this out of here. And I have here, oh shoot, where'd I put it? Here we go. Oh, I'm making a hot mess everywhere. So a lot of times I'll put a couple of magnets or just put something on here so it doesn't roll around on me. I know I have more magnets. Where are you guys? Oh, I know what they're doing. They're holding my stencils because I dry my stencils on my metal rack. Just grab what I can find here. And what I have here, this is about 3 parts PVA glue. You can use Elmer's, you can use whatever you have. And no, 3 parts water, 1 part PVA glue. Let me just set that on there. And I want to add some mica to that, so I haven't tried that yet. Yes, it was 39 earlier. And what I want is I want some of this iridescent mica. This is blue. Yeah, I want the purple. We'll see if this works out well or not. I don't know if you'll even be able to see it, but I'm just going to tap some right into the glue. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah. Oh, I haven't opened this one yet. Okay. Good. Then I can just poke a hole in it. Shake some in, and you won't be able to see it at all until it has something to sit against. And I just put a tiny hole in there, so I'm not getting a whole lot. Let's stir it up. And I just use a little mason jar because I can put the lid on. I haven't had an issue with my water glue mixture you know, doing what you think it might do. What was that? What does it do? Mildew? It doesn't. Or mold. So what I'm going to do here, and you guys, and I had showed the other day, let me grab them. I'm getting new stencils from Joggles today, and I'm so excited. I had done a colored one. I forgot how I did that one, so we might try that again. And then I had done this really richly colored one. And here's an experiment with other unicorn paper, but it really tore a lot. And I burned it a little. So, you know, that's what happens with experiments. You learn. Yeah, absolutely use your micas. So good morning, Chow, Shanna, Frida, Happy Place Crafting. I know your name, but I don't remember. And that's no reflection on you. That's just my age and disposition. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab, this is only 8 by 10 paper. I have some other tissue paper, but this is what's at hand. And this is Dina Wakley media blank tissue. I have some also from Art Stacks, but I don't know where it is. Well, I do know where it is, but it will be a half an hour before I can dig it out. So I'm going to, on my wax paper, thank you, I'm going to just paint this water glue mixture. And the reason I'm doing that is because this tissue paper will rip. But if you do this, it kind of gives it a backing. So it doesn't rip when you pull it off. And it's stronger. And then I'm just going to lay my tissue paper down into that. I'm doing shiny side down. It doesn't really matter. And we don't care if it wrinkles. We don't care about any of that. I just want to make sure that it's all nice and down. And then I'm going to take this mixture again and not go too heavy, but I'm going to paint it over top. Lightly. Lightly with my brush so I don't rip the paper. I have today coming in from Joggles because Jim, you're probably not here yet. It's paper that you can get wet and it doesn't rip. But this is not that kind of paper. I'm just very, very lightly. But I don't want super heavy glue on here either because I don't want a lot of oozing. Then I'm going to take my stencil. And this is a Joggles stencil. It's called Cyclone and it's probably a favorite. I'm going to lay my stencil right down in there and just kind of push it down. Okay. Hi, Shay. Yeah, everybody calls me T. You're right. Yes, you can. It's not specialty tissue paper at all. I have some report covers that are separated by tissue papers, and I typically use those. But I haven't opened the new pack, and I ran out. So for this one, let's use some Distress Spray Stain. And so I'm going to go in with Salvage Patina and Kitsch Flamingo. Because remember, I'm trying to make unicorn colors. Hey, Dawn. So I'm just going to kind of spray randomly. Not too heavy. I am a firm disliker of pixie spray. I absolutely hate it and I would not want it on my stencil. So if you're thinking pixie spray, if you like it, go for it. That's a no, a negative from me. Let me come in with a little bit more heavy pink. Okay, now what I'm going to do to get our sparkle is I've got this embossing powder. This is bridal tinsel. Use whatever you have. And I'm just going to sprinkle it like pixie dust all over my page while it's wet. And it's got that glue, so that's going to help it stick. Trying not to get it into lumps if possible, because when it gets into chunks and lumps, it just doesn't get the same effect. Okay. Now I'm going to pull my stencil off. And it leaks under a little bit, and that's okay. And I'm just going to take my stencil and lay it on a piece of white paper. And whatever is leaking out of there will sink down onto that paper, hopefully. Except for I just moved it, but that's okay. So we've got everything on here. Now what we have to do is dry it. And so I just use a heat tool to dry it. And since it's pretty wet, it might take a minute to get dry. Hey, Jim. Yeah, I know, the enabler's here. So I use my embossing tool. And what I'm trying to do is two things. Kind of dry it and make sure that embossing powder melts. So maybe you're wondering, why would you do it on tissue paper? Why not just regular paper? Well, because like I like to rip this stuff and put it in my journals and stuff. So you can glue it down to a heavier piece of paper if you want to and die cut it. And hopefully you guys can hear me over this loud thing. Tinkerbell. And you don't have to worry about the wax paper or the butcher paper. This won't stick to it, but it has to be completely dry before you pull it off. And we're going to get all those cool little wrinkles too, so it's almost like a zebra unicorn. So I've got it partially dry. I want to take, and I'll probably just use a paper towel, I think. I want to dab some of that excess liquid off of there. Not too intensely. I don't want it to rip, but I want this thing to dry. Let's see how that came out. Yeah, that didn't work out too well with that stencil, but that's okay. Let's get some more heat to it. Yeah, I was going to record this and I thought, you know what? No, I'm just going to do it live because maybe people have some ideas of more fun stuff to do to get special effects. And I'm game to try them. Now, this stuff will burn, so you want to be careful that you don't hold the heat in one spot for too long. When you see it start to bubble, I don't know if you can see the bubbling starting here. When you see it start to bubble, you know it's dry. It starts to lift off of the freezer paper. So these wrinkles are going to be the wettest part. See, I'm starting to burn it. I have to be careful. Be careful, you. We'll set that aside and work on some regular papers. Now I may have to disappear on you because what I do with that stencil is I take it in the shower and spray it off because it's so delicate that I don't want to wreck the little twirly whirls. Let's see if I can, let's see where we are on dryness here. I'm just going to grab a little corner here and just kind of get my tweezers up under there until I've got a spot to grab and see when it's dry enough, it'll pull right off the paper. You can take it outside, hang it in the sun. Sometimes I take them and hang them on my clothesline. You just want to be super patient when you're taking this off. Because if there's any wet parts, that's where it's going to rip. Oh, yeah, make some cool stencils with your laser for sure. I'm getting that Hero Arts one that Dawn has today in the mail. I'm excited about that. I love stencils because they're so versatile and they're so cost effective. Oh, but you guys wait. Simon Hurley's coming out with the release. Wait till you see it. Oh my gosh. So you can see that I'm just gently and slowly pulling this back. And see how it's shiny on this side? That's because of the glue. Typically I use Elmer's glue, but I can't find my Elmer's glue, so I used my PVA glue. And like I said, you can use what you have. Notice how I've got it kind of folded over, and if it's wet in one spot and it looks like it might try to tear, just grab your heat tool and just give it a quick dry. And you can use your heat tool as long as you keep your fingers out of the way to help get this off quicker if you just don't have the patience and you don't mind your hand burning. See where it's wet there? You want that to kind of dry. I love doing stuff like this. When I'm not doing design team stuff, I like to play around with color and paper and textures and mixed media. When you store these, if you store them, you want to store them between maybe some butcher paper or something, because they're kind of sticky on the back because of the glue. And you don't want them sticking to your other papers. There we go. So here we've got a translucent paper going here, but it's got sparkle and shine, and if you put it up against a piece of white paper, for instance, you've got, you know, a cool pattern. Now, still working on perfecting how to get that pattern to come out a little bit more intensely, and I think what I can do is paint the stencil and lay the stencil on with the paint and create a better resist, pull it off, let it dry, and I did try that. So let's just say I put this up against a piece of blue paper. You're gonna get a totally different look. So there's blue, here's white, let's grab a pink one. Here's pink. I mixed a little bit of the mica into the glue, but I can't really see it, honestly. The sparkle that I'm seeing here is the embossing powder, the bridal tinsel. So let's do one on regular paper, and we'll use a smaller stencil. This is a Paper Rose Studio stencil. It's called Starry Night. And I'm going to grab a piece of watercolor paper here. And I think what I'll do, I'm thinking here, give me a second to get my brain together. I need a piece of something. Let's paint this. Where is my white paint? Awesome, Linda. You guys give me a minute to see if I can figure out where my white paint is. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. Where did you put it? If I were white paint, where would I go hide from tea? Because that's what happens. I could have sworn it was sitting over here somewhere. Maybe it's in here. Craziness. There's texture paste, but I want paint. Huh. I lost my white. Oh, here it is. This is just, oh no, this is gesso. It'll work though. We're just trying to create a resist. Isn't this a great stencil? It's one of my, I love Paper Rose Studio. I do. They're probably near a favorite with regard to a lot of their stuff. So I'm going to just I know I have white paint, but it's in with my, and Dawn, Friday we're gonna mush paper onto that jelly thing. Hope that made sense to everyone. I feel like this isn't enough. Got the smooth side of the watercolor paper. Just lay it down here in this white paint. And use my brayer to kind of bray it on. You obviously can't see it, but I think it laid down. I think it did. Let's move that out of the way. Flip this over. And since it was such a thin coat, it should dry pretty quickly. And let's go ahead and grab our, whoops. Let's get that out of the way. Kish Flamingo. Yeah, it's not really resisting the way I hoped it would. Let's see what happens when I add water. I mean, it's a good color combination for unicorn paper no matter what, but it didn't resist, so let's try something different. We'll just set this aside and save it. Down on the mushing for the jelly thing. Awesome. Oh, my word. All right. What do you guys think? How should I go about this? This is your experiment, too. It might have been that I just didn't get enough gesso on there. I should probably clean this stencil off a little bit. So I don't have residual ink there. Paper towel. Yeah, you could emboss it, but the thing is that I don't want the reverse pattern, or I do want the reverse pattern, so I want this part to be on the paper and not the inner part. I mean, I want this part to be white, or, you know, whatever color we settle on. If that makes sense. This is another one that I'm super careful with because it's got these little twirly birds that like to pop up. It may have been just the gesso. Let me see what else I have. I know that I have some distress white paint. What's this? Okay, here's some Dina Wakley acrylic. Hi, Teresa. And I want to probably get it on there thicker. Let's grab a piece of watercolor paper. This is Tim Holtz watercolor, by the way. You could also use like a mixed media paper, probably just regular paper, but a lot of regular papers, I don't like the way water and spray stains react to them. I prefer... Okay, so do I want to make a mess right here? Nope. Let's get a piece of paper towel. All right. Let's make sure I have plenty of paint. Go both ways with my roller. And work quickly so it doesn't dry on me before I get that on there. Lay it down on the smooth side. And really brayer that down. You can use any color combination you want. I just was interested in making something that kind of reminded me of unicorns. pull it off before it sticks. That may have worked. Ooh, it worked very nicely on the paper towel. Okay, we'll spray that bad boy too, just because. Vellum, yeah, we can try this on vellum. The only thing is that, you know, it needs to be able to take heat. Okay, so back to the spray stains. Don't think I won't use that piece of paper towel, because I will. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to really resist at all. Well, maybe it will as it dries. I'm getting it plenty wet. It's resisting-ish. Let's throw some embossing powder on here. Again, this is bridal tinsel, in case you're just coming in. Let's see what happens when I dry it. I love this. I love that paper towel. Such a weirdo. You're so weird, P. Yeah, we're not, I mean, I can barely see that pattern in this. You see? It's just barely visible. It's still really pretty paper, I mean, don't get me wrong. But I really want that pattern. This is great. I love this. You know what I want to throw on here? I want to throw some shimmer spray. This Dilutions. This I think is bubble gum. Yeah. If it's not clogged up. It might be clogged up. These clog up pretty regularly. Okay. We'll just leave that to dry. All right. Excuse me. I need more coffee. Look, I work with a mess. I don't care. I'm going to grab a big old piece of watercolor. Where did I put that? This is some Arteza watercolor, and let's get I'm going to get this glue. I'm going to paint the glue on, same as I did before. I'm going to grab the Cyclones stencil. Yeah, and it's still a little bit dirty, and that's okay. I'm just going to lay it down on here. Just kind of give it a push. I like these stencils because they're ginormous. And then we'll do our spray stains. Yeah, paper towel for the win, that's for sure. Let's make sure that oops, I moved my stencil. Don't do that. Let's make sure that I don't go too heavy with the color. I want it light. And this is Salvage Patina. These two just blend together very nicely to a nice purple, which gives that kind of iridescent faux iridescent look. I wish I had spun sugar, but I don't. I keep telling myself I need to get it and I forget. Okay, then some water. Hanging laundry. How do you watch and hang laundry? I can't do two things at once like that. All right, let's get our bridal tinsel. We could try a different one. Let me see here. What else do I have that's kind of iridescent? Let me grab my wows. Oh, where did I put them? I've reorganized, you guys, and lost everything again. Okay, let's see what I've got in my Ranger. Let's see. I don't want silver. It's just white. I don't want white. What's this? Holographic. Let's try that one. It's probably about the same as bridal tinsel. Because my paper's wet, it sticks to the paper still instead of blowing off. And it's not wet with just water. It's got a little bit of glue in it. I think we might like this holographic. These are things that you never get out and use. I have so many embossing powders, friends. So many. Okay, here comes the moment of truth. Let me get a piece of paper ready. Let me pull the stencil. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. After gaming laundry for 40 years, you can do it without looking gaming laundry. I love typos. They're so much fun. Now we got some nice swirls out of that one. What do you guys see the ones I have coming in today? Oh my gosh. They are so cool. I bought an Elizabeth St. Hilaire one, which is, I think it's another Starry Night, Van Gogh Starry Night. I just love swirls for stencils, and especially for mixed media. Can you guys see the sparkle on that? And this is sparkle that's not going to come off because it's heat embossed. But you can still cut it out. So I can get 4 A2 panels out of this. And I'm mostly not trying to really dry it 100% as much as make sure that all the embossing powder melts. I think I like the holographic better than the bridal tinsel. What do you guys think? Very unicorns, yes! Or lollipops, or even like a Christmas snowy back. Oh, stop it! Let's do that. I'll grab a snow stencil and we'll stencil on some white. It's pretty wet. This Arteza is not super thick, but it doesn't dry that fast either compared to my El Cheapo stuff. So if you feel this and you feel it rubbing off, you need to heat it some more. Cotton candy, yes. Okay, that's the embossing powder, friends. Ranger holographic. And I never used my holographic. I've had this for years. You can tell by how yellow that is from sitting out on the lid there. And because this is watercolor, it won't burn as easily. You just don't want to burn your embossing powder. It'd be really pretty to do it with like a floral and some yellows and greens. Let me grab a snowflake stencil. It's still kind of damp, but that's okay. I just don't want to try to cut it while it's damp because when you do, it rips the paper. All right, snowflake stencil. Oh, this is so heavy. I've got my box full of Christmas stuff out here. It's huge and it's got dies and stencils and everything in it. So let's get this. Yeah, let's get that one, I think. Well, maybe the Tonic Studios. I think I like that one better. All right. Let's get my pouncer. I know I have a pouncer white for white ink. Where are you? Here you are. And let's get my Snow Flurries pigment. I don't know. I may need to paint. Probably won't be able to see them. Nope, you can't see them. Okay. We'll paint. I have no problem painting. I have a pouncer just for that. It's hard here because I'm lazy and didn't clean it very much. Let's get the acrylic paint. You know what, too? Just to kick it up a notch, let's make a little pile of acrylic paint here. And then add some mica. We'll use that same mica. Uh-oh, where did I put it? There it is. No, that's not it. Ooh, this is a good mica, though. This is silver, but it's got glitter bits in it. So let's just add some of that. Mix it up. Try not to get it everywhere. It may not show through this acrylic paint. We're going to find out in a moment. Okay. Pouncer is not really working well. That's because I let the paint dry on it. And you don't get a lot of paint. A lot of it soaks right into the pouncer. Let's see what we got, though. Yeah, no, that doesn't work, huh? I'm not loving it. Okay. See why we try things first? It just doesn't want to go on there cleanly. And that might be partly because the paper's still wet. So all I'm going to do here is just kind of mush that around and not stress about it. Girl, yes. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Oh, sorry if I yelled. That was like brilliant. I didn't think about it. Let's go. Let's pop in here with some. This is frostbite. Ooh, now I'm hot. It was cold this morning in the 30s. I was like, yay! Let me be cold for a change. Oops, we don't want that hard boogie on there. This won't really show up a lot because it's not meant to. Oops, what is that? Chunk of something. Oh, you guys, I have this stuff. Let me get it out. I'll show you. I'll put it on another portion here. It's from Prima, one of those guys. So it doesn't show up a lot, but it does show up. Let me show you this other stuff. I don't like trying to put it through a stencil though because it's weird. Let me grab it. Let's see if I can figure out where I put it. Right here. No. This is from, this is Unicorn Effect Paste from Finnabair. Ooh, 30. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of weird looking, and it's kind of dried out because I never use it. Here's what it does. It leaves these little bits of this iridescent paper on there. I don't know if you can see those or not. See those little bits of paper? I have this color and I have a gold color, but you have to get it on your hand really thick to get those papers to come off. Wow, that's some real unicorn paper. Oh, where'd the lid go? Here it is. Yep, unicorn paste. So, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now those things, if they're in too big of a group of chunks, they will not, they don't cooperate real well with cutting, like in your die cutting machine. So I try to spread them out best I can. But it's basically, I mean, in my opinion, it's an apply with your fingers kind of. Look, there's still a bunch stuck to my finger. Let's see if I can get it off onto this paper. Not really, because it's drying already. It dries pretty quickly. So we've got this unicorn paper, which I kind of want to do something more to. Let me set this aside real quick. It doesn't look like much of anything unless it's laid on something. Let's lay it on a piece of white cardstock here. Hey, get off there. I accidentally got some yellow. Oh, that must be the one I did earlier here, earlier this morning, because this one doesn't have any of the yellow on it. It also doesn't have as good of an impression of the circly cues. I wonder what would happen if I laid this on here and went in here with some Astro paste. This is still kind of wet. It's a hot mess is what it is. Come on. All the papers come together. This is, again, because it's so boingity, you have to really pay attention when you're working. How does it look over black? Good question. Let's find out. Let's not grab my fancy black paper just yet. It's okay. There's some kind of dark spots. I'm thinking this one might look better. I don't know. I'm thinking, because this one we did with the bridal tinsel, I'm thinking I want to do one with the holographic. But I want to see. Where'd it go? Oh, I just I just picked it up. In this case, all right, here we go. Just going very gently. I'm trying to kind of a little bit hold on to those swirls. These stencils aren't necessarily meant for this type of application. Especially if you're in a hurry. Once I get this down on here, I'm going to have to run this into the shower because you can't really scrub at this stencil at all. So you might ask yourself, why would you have such a delicate stencil? Because look at it. It's so cool. I don't think I want to use my whole jar of Astro paste on this. Oh, nails on a chalkboard. Okay. Now I'm going to have to be very careful when I pull this up. So, oh, that is so cool. Guys, if anybody comes, can you just tell them I'll be right back? I want to go ahead and run these stencils in my shower real quick. It's just across the hall. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. I'm confident that'll be fine. Now this, I did it on some heavy cardstock, so this is going to be so cool. Yeah, I do need a be right back sign. You're absolutely right. Now, I'm going to do one more on tissue because a friend begged me to do it, so hopefully she'll get here on the replay. That would be Mommy Guide Ink Lala. She wanted to see how I did that brightly colored one. So I'm going to show you. Let me grab a piece of freezer paper. Basically the same way, just different colors. Elevator music, yeah. I don't know why this stuff does not want to rip. I guess my ripper has lost its teeth. Always gonna do these on something like this because otherwise it's gonna stick. And this too you can pick up and move around if need be. Where's my magnets? I got a mess here, friend. That could go right there. Let's get a piece of that tissue. Let me grab a different kind of tissue here real quick if I can find one. I might have a piece in here still kind of stray. No. What's this? This tissue? Oh. This is a bigger tissue. This is made in China. I probably got it on Amazon. 400 sheets, but it looks like A4 size. Yes, exactly. Messy work. Well, it shouldn't be, but so see how much bigger this is? Let's grab our... Now remember, I did put that iridescent mica in here, but it really doesn't show up. So, what's this? Okay, I don't know. Okay, if Lala, if you're watching, this is your tutorial. I want the shiny side down. It doesn't really matter, but I kind of want the paper to absorb. Now, my one problem is I just put my favorite stencil in the shower and it's wet. But I have another that works just as well. And I don't know this one's called. It's a Joggles stencil too. And I keep them in these big things because if you try and store them next to each other, they stick to each other and make you crazy. So, I think what I'll do, I think I'm going to lay this down on the paper and then brush on the glue substance. Let's see if I can remember what colors I used. I think I remember. I think I used Seedless Preserves, Salvage Patina, and orange. Hang on. Okay, there's Seedless Preserves. Here's Carved Pumpkin. Maybe I used Tumbled Glass. We'll use Salvage Patina. Okay, so let's start with the Seedless Preserves. So it's a nice dark color. This is one of my favorites. The glue is 3:1, so 3 parts water to 1 part. And what I'm doing when I'm spraying this orange down is I'm just concentrating around. So I am kind of directing where the spray goes. Where'd the Salvage Patina go? I know it's here somewhere. Now the Joggles one that Jim sent me to, they were actually using paint. What's it called? I forgot what it's called. It's really nice paint though. Trying not to blend this blue into the orange as much as possible. In some cases I might need to, and I think I want more of the Seedless Preserves. Hi Diane! Oh, no worries, this is a total unplanned live. I just decided that I was playing around with this and I might as well just turn on my camera and share it with y'all. And I definitely need some more intensity in that blue. Oh yeah, and now I remember what I used, Salty Ocean. Or Mermaid Lagoon. That's what I just grabbed, so that's what we're using. Oh yeah, much better. That's more like it. So you can see we've got some real intense color going on here. Now, question is, do I want to make that sparkly or not? What do you guys think? I think I do. I think I want to come in not with the bridal tinsel, with the holographic, and see what happens. So I'm just putting it on like a person with bad heart should have their salt. No, I don't know. It's not going to show up a lot until it's dry. You could even put, you know, colored embossing powder on there. You could put embossing glaze. In fact, I have some right here. I don't think I want to use evergreen bough on here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pull my stencil. I'm going to grab this piece of paper towel here and lay it on there so I don't spill it all over my house. And, ooh, that's pretty. This definitely needs to be sopped up. It's just too intense. So I don't want to waste anything. So let me grab another. Let's get ourselves a twofer here if we can. I'm just trying not to get too much brown. So this is going to be soaking wet. So when I go to pick it up, it's probably going to tear. You guys don't see my tweezers. I do. How about that? Oh my word, that looks cool. Oh, I can't lay it down because I don't have a place to lay it. So just give me a moment. I still need to sop a lot more up there. It's dripping all over me. One moment. I'm trying to straighten it out on this piece of paper. Wow. That looks badass. I think I can say that on YouTube. There's just not a better word. I'm not going to mess with it too much because I don't want it to tear up. Look at that. Oh, how cool is that? But I still need to do some sopping up. So I'm going to grab paper towel. Welcome back, Joe. There we go. That's more like it. But what happened when I did that is I lost a lot of my embossing powder, and that's fine. Okay, let's throw some more on there. Why not? I keep losing it. Here we go. Because it's still wet and got the gluey substance on it, this will stick to it. I don't want to go too heavy, and I see I tore a hole in it. See, that's what you have to be careful when you're sopping it up. I'm curious to see how that wettable paper works. Can I use? Probably. I did that earlier. It doesn't pull up the way you'd love it to do. The way you expect it to do. I love how this one wrinkled. So the next thing is you look at this and you're like, so what, right? So you have to decide, well, what's this useful for? What can I do with it? Can I make a background? Can I die cut out of it? Can I use it in a collage? Absolutely, all the things. I'm going to let that kind of dry on its own because I'm super curious about this other piece. So the cool thing about this is you can just pick it up and put it someplace else. And you should see my floor, y'all. It's covered in stuff. Let's get this one. I'm just super curious about this one and how that's going to dry. Aren't you? Oh, Dawn, I'm sorry. That's what I hope to inspire is play. And I want this sticking to that paper. Wow. I think I like the pickup paper better than the original. Yeah, me too. The wrinkles are awesome. We're going to have so much fun Friday, Dawn. We're going to make a hot mess. We'll probably be here for hours, friends. Especially now that I found that I have a microphone that works that doesn't die because it's plugged in. This dried pretty quickly, too. Of course, it's still really delicate, but when you get tissue paper wet, it strengthens it somehow, and I don't quite understand the logic behind that, but it seems to strengthen it a bit. Let that part dry. These little bits dry so it doesn't tear anymore. I mean, you guys, stop. Isn't that's beautiful. Any tissue paper will work, Linda. So there's the pole. Where did I put the original? I don't want to run over it with my chair. Here's the original. And it's got to dry. I'm going to leave that to mostly air dry, and then I'll heat it to make sure that all the embossing powder is done. You guys. Okay, so let's just kind of recap because I don't have any more room to do anything else here. Today, and this has, a lot of this stuff is because it's got to dry. So we did this big piece of unicorn watercolor paper. We've got the Astro Paste stenciled through, and then over here we've got the Prima or Finnabair unicorn paste. Then we have the piece that we did first, which I then put the Astro Paste on that has to dry. That's gonna be so neat. So look for these in further projects, and I'll refer back to this video if you didn't see it or don't know how to do it. Let's see, what else did we get done today? Well, this I did this morning, or is this the one I just did? I think I did that one this morning. Here's the, I can tell I did this one this morning because there was some yellow on my stencil. This is a piece of the butcher paper that I set my stencil down on, and I went, oh, that looks cool. I kind of like it. You have to play, yes. This is one done on watercolor this morning. Anyway, I hope you guys go out and play, experiment. And when I get my new stuff and I've played with it by myself for a while, I'll come on here and play with you guys. Maybe Friday when we're playing with our What is it, Don? Those gooey things. I have a baker's rack, but it's full of stuff. I don't have a place to put another one. We have racks everywhere. Yeah, don't even ask. Gel plates. Friday morning. Thursday, I'll be here with a live doing, I don't know what. We'll see when the time comes. I don't know where my mouse is even to stop this video. There it is. Thanks, you guys, for coming and hanging out. Journals. Yeah, journals on Friday. Yeah, thank you. I need all y'all's brainsers because mine just don't. Oh, yeah, we did this one, which is, I didn't really get the pattern at all on there. It's real super faint. But still, these are all usable. They make gorgeous little flowers or clouds. You guys take care. Have a good day, and I'll see y'all around. See y'all around the rooms. Bye.